I used to stutter when talking to strangers. My palms would sweat when reporting to my boss. When I met impressive people, I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. Then I figured out one simple truth. Social anxiety is basically you thinking other people are way more impressive than they actually are. You're putting them on a pedestal that doesn't exist. What does demystifying people mean? It means understanding this. Everyone is fundamentally just like you, ordinary people. Those people you think are so superior, they shit and fart too. They lose sleep and stress out. They scroll on their phones late at night and can't stop. You're nervous because you've imagined a perfect version of them, and that perfect version doesn't exist. I used to spend 10 minutes in the bathroom before client meetings, rehearsing my opening lines, terrified of saying one wrong word. Once, I had a meeting with a major client. The guy was the CEO of a top company in his industry. I started losing sleep 3 days before. The day we met, I was so nervous I could barely form sentences. Then his phone rang. I heard him tell his wife, "Whatever you want for dinner is fine with me, honey. Totally up to you." His tone was super gentle, almost pleading. After he hung up, he told me, "Sorry about that. My wife's been in a bad mood lately. Gotta keep her happy." In that instant, 80% of my nervousness vanished. I suddenly realized, this guy who dominated the business world was just a regular husband at home. He had to read his wife's moods too. He had to carefully maintain his relationship. He wasn't a god, he was just a person. After that, I started deliberately observing people. I discovered, so-called big shots are actually full of flaws. Some executives sound super confident in meetings, but if you look closely, their hands are shaking. Some industry leaders give great talks on stage, but in private conversations, they repeat the same stories. Some seemingly confident people are desperately seeking validation on social media. Everyone's performing. Some people are just better actors. Why do you get nervous? Because you're giving them power. You think they're higher status, so you look up to them. You think they control resources, so you try to please them. You think their approval matters, so you're anxious about it. But have you ever considered this? You're the one giving them that power. If you don't grant it, the power doesn't exist. I have a friend in sales. His numbers were always terrible. I asked him why. He said, "I get intimidated by high-end clients. I feel like I'm not good enough to even talk to them." I told him, try mentally stripping away the layers when you think about them. Picture them when they wake up in the morning. Messy hair, bad breath, squinting while brushing their teeth. Picture them sitting on the toilet for half an hour scrolling their phone. He tried it. Next client meeting, not nervous at all, because he realized they're just regular people who have to take shits too. Demystifying people doesn't mean disrespecting them. It means seeing them as equals. You can admire someone's abilities without deifying their character. Abilities can be learned. Human nature is universal. Everyone has weaknesses, insecurities, and embarrassing moments nobody knows about. When you see this, you'll stop treating social interactions like performances. Why social anxiety? Most people get nervous in social situations because they're too worried about their own performance, afraid they'll say something wrong, afraid the other person won't like them, afraid of awkward silences. But have you considered this? The other person is probably worried about the exact same things. Most people are too busy managing their own image to spend 24/7 judging you. You think they'll remember every mistake you make. In reality, they forget the second they walk away. The fundamental truth: everyone cares more about themselves than they care about you. I don't get nervous meeting anyone anymore because I know this in my gut. They're human too. They make mistakes, get nervous, have things they can't handle. I don't need to be perfect because perfect doesn't exist. I just need to express my thoughts honestly and let the chips fall where they may. If we click, great. If not, no big deal. Recently, I met an influencer with millions of followers. In the past, I would have thought, this person must be incredibly impressive. I need to prepare thoroughly. But this time, I was relaxed. 10 minutes into the conversation, they started complaining to me about the headaches of dealing with brand deals, platform algorithm changes, not knowing what the future holds. I suddenly realized the mystique is incredibly fragile. The second someone shows you their real self, the illusion shatters. You need to understand, everyone who makes you nervous is just an ordinary person wearing some kind of identity costume. Bosses get yelled at by their bosses too. Professors have subjects they don't understand. Influencers can't sleep because they're anxious about their numbers. When you see this, you'll realize social interaction is fundamentally about human connection, not about status competition. Starting today, try demystifying everyone you meet. 1. Don't get fooled by appearances. Don't let job titles, fame, or wealth distract you. See them as the person underneath. Imagine them taking off their suit when they get home. Imagine them when they're alone. Imagine them when they're vulnerable. When you can see everyone as your equal, you'll never feel nervous in social situations again. Remember, nobody is inherently better than you. All that looking up to people is just self-imposed limitation. You don't need to please anyone. You just need to be your authentic self. People worth knowing will appreciate your honesty. People who only care about your performance aren't worth your time anyway. Stop worshiping people. Learn to demystify. You'll discover that socializing can actually be effortless.